So if you want to work in construction, well, you've come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to tell you everything you need to know to go from zero to construction worker in 4 to 12 weeks. And along the way, I'm going to share the 3 biggest mistakes beginners make when trying to enter construction, so watch out for those. Before I tell you the exact roadmap to become a construction estimator, I need to tell you where construction estimating fits in the overall construction project journey. In any construction project, there's a process or a sequence of steps you follow from start to finish to complete that project. We have the pre-construction phase, where you plan and estimate everything, the construction phase, where you actually build the project, and the closeout phase, where you wrap everything up. It might be easier to understand all of this with an example. Let's say we're trying to build a new office building. Well, the pre-construction phase is what happens before any actual construction takes place. Reading the architectural drawings and the design, calculating material quantities, determining labor costs, and creating the project estimate. The pre-construction team works with the design team throughout this process to determine exactly what this building will cost to construct. If the project budget works, this estimate gets approved and you move forward with actual construction. As a construction estimator, you have to understand everything I've just told you and how to set the project up for success during that pre-construction phase. You can think of construction estimating as powering an entire construction project, and it comes with serious earning potential. Entry-level estimators start around $53,000 a year, with experienced professionals earning anywhere from $95,000 to $180,000 annually. To do this successfully, you have to understand the takeoff process, the pricing methods, and the bid preparation. But don't worry, I'm going to teach you everything you need to know, practice, and improve in these skills. Let's start with the takeoff process. A takeoff, or quantity takeoff, is simply a systematic measurement of everything you need to build a project. The estimator and the project team outline what materials and labor the project will require and what quantities of each thing you'll need. And the place where all of this measuring happens is in the construction documents. Since digital takeoffs are more accurate and efficient, I'd recommend starting there. There are really only 4 main measurement types you need to know: linear takeoff, area takeoff, the volume, and the count. Let's walk through an example with flooring our office building. Area measurement for the square footage, linear measurement for baseboard trim, a count of doors and windows, and the volume for concrete foundations. I know it sounds like a lot, and if you think you've understood everything, then you're making the first big mistake that beginners make. They try to understand theory and not application. The best way to learn is by doing, by practicing with real construction drawings. A great tool that can help you is called Bluebeam or On-Screen Takeoff or Plan Swift. These are digital applications that allow you to measure and calculate quantities from construction drawings. And best of all is you don't need field experience for this. You can open the drawings, measure areas, and see what quantities you get. Act like a detective. Measure different spaces. Use different calculation methods. Try different approaches and see what results you get. Now that you've practiced with some sample drawings, it's time to learn pricing methods and start building your own estimate. But to create accurate estimates, we first have to pick a learning approach and methodology. And if you've followed along, you know exactly what I'm going to recommend. Structured courses or learning from experienced mentors are great options to get started with construction estimating. They're practical to learn, they have proven methods, and a supportive community to help you. And many of you ask me what a structured program is and why we should use them. Why not just watch random YouTube videos or read outdated textbooks? Well, a structured program just makes your progress faster. It's a comprehensive curriculum that covers all the essential skills, like reading construction documents, performing takeoffs, understanding cost components, bid analysis. You should spend time learning the stuff that actually matters rather than trying to piece together random information or searching through scattered resources. Quality programs organize this knowledge systematically so you can learn it efficiently. One of the most important things to understand and master is the cost components and pricing. And this is where Course Careers comes in. One of the things I love about being an instructor with Course Careers is the system works not just for estimating, but across multiple career paths. Take Mike, for example. He had 0 construction experience. He went through the Course Careers construction management program, learned the exact skills employers were hiring for, and landed his first job right out of the course. Caleb has a similar story with no college degree or prior construction background. He took the construction project management course through Course Careers and broke into the industry as a construction manager. Why am I telling you this? Because even though those guys weren't in my estimating course, course, their stories prove something important. Course Careers can take you from zero experience to your first construction job in just weeks when you follow a proven, employment-focused curriculum and get real support along the way. In my construction estimating program, you'll get all the benefits of working with Course Careers. We provide you with a step-by-step skills training, real-world projects you can put in your portfolio, and direct guidance from me on everything, from takeoffs to pricing to bid prep. You'll also have Cora, our AI course assistant, ready to answer questions instantly so you never stay stuck. Plus, if you're still deciding which construction career, Course Careers Cora acts as a career counselor who will work with you one-on-one to find your dream job. The goal is simple. In 4 to 12 weeks, you'll go from beginner to job ready with the skills to confidently apply for construction estimating roles and the support to actually get hired. But let me get more specific about what your day-to-day lifestyle as a construction estimator actually looks like, because this is where the career really shines compared to other construction roles. Most estimators start their day by reviewing project documents and prioritizing their workload. You might spend your morning diving deep into architectural drawings, measuring spaces digitally, and calculating material quantities. Unlike field work, when you're dealing with weather, site conditions, and constant interruptions, estimating work happens in a controlled environment, typically an office or even from home. The work is intellectually challenging. You're essentially solving puzzles all day long. How do you optimize this building layout? What's the most cost-effective way to approach this renovation? How do you account for potential risks in your pricing? Every project brings unique challenges that keep the work engaging. One of the biggest advantages is the work-life balance. While project managers and field supervisors, superintendents often work 50, 60 hours a week and deal with emergency calls, estimators typically work standard business hours. Most of your deadlines are predictable. You know when bids are due, when proposals need to be submitted, when client meetings are scheduled. The career progression is also very clear and rewarding. You'll start as an assistant estimator, learning the basics and supporting a senior team. Within 2 to 3 years, you can become a full estimator handling your own projects. Senior estimators often specialize in specific building types. Maybe you become the go-to person for healthcare facilities or industrial projects. From there, you can move into pre-construction management, where you're overseeing entire teams of estimators and coordinating with design teams and clients. The top earners in this field, those VP level positions making $200,000 plus, are typically running pre-construction departments for major construction companies. What's really exciting is how technology is transforming this field. We're seeing artificial intelligence to help with quantity takeoffs, cloud-based collaboration tools connecting teams across multiple offices, and virtual reality helping us visualize complex projects before they're built. If you're someone who likes staying on the cutting edge of technology, construction estimating is offering that opportunity. The relationship building aspect is something many people don't realize. As an estimator, you become a key point of contact for architects, engineers, subcontractors, and clients. You're not just crunching numbers. You're helping guide major business decisions. When a client has a $50 million project and needs to understand their options, you're the expert that they turn to. And here's something that might surprise you. Estimators often have some of the best job security positions in construction. While field work can be seasonal and subject to economic fluctuations, companies always need estimators to bid on new work. Even during slower periods, estimators are the ones helping companies win the projects that will keep everyone employed. The remote work potential is also significant. Since most estimating happens digitally, many companies now offer hybrid or fully remote positions. This flexibility is especially valuable for people who want to maintain a good work-life balance or live in areas where construction jobs might be limited. For construction estimating, I'd highly recommend learning both conceptual estimating and detailed estimating. For entry-level positions, you can't go wrong with quantity takeoffs and basic cost analysis. But if you want my personal opinion, you need to pick one approach to get started. Go with detailed estimating. Learn systematic takeoffs and pricing. The great thing with detailed estimating is that you can get started systematically. You simply learn to read construction drawings, understand project specifications, practice quantity takeoffs, and you're good to go. Now that we've covered that, instead of me teaching you every detail about estimating formulas and construction methods, I'm going to point you to the right resources resource that can explain all these concepts in a structured way. But this is also the second major mistake most beginners make when learning construction estimating. They learn in scattered pieces. They watch random videos and try to piece together concepts from different sources, but once you ask them to create a real estimate, they're lost. The goal by the end of my program is to create your own professional estimates from scratch. And the only way to do this is by following a systematic approach I teach and really understanding the principles in the curriculum. Use my structured program as your foundation, not as your crutch. The goal is to become independent and confident. The program might take 4 to 8 weeks to complete, but it's going to take additional practice to truly become expert level. But that's okay. We have 4 to 12 weeks total. Learning happens through consistent practice. Last but not least, let's talk about the business side. You'll encounter different types of construction projects: commercial buildings, residential projects, industrial facilities. My Course Careers program offers multiple project types in practical detail. Now you should have all the tools you need to become a competent construction estimator. You know how to read construction drawings, you know how to perform takeoffs, you know everything about cost analysis and pricing. Any construction company would be lucky to have you as their estimator. Take a moment to see how far you've come, but even better, see how versatile construction estimating skills are. You should be able to easily adapt to different project types or switch between different estimating software programs. And now all that's left is getting a job. And you might think you need to memorize every construction detail I've just told you to pass the interviews. But that's actually the third and final mistake that beginners make. They prepare for interviews incorrectly. They think by the end of the interview, they have to demonstrate expert level knowledge of every construction method. But that's simply not true. In fact, you'll soon realize that entry-level estimating interviews focus on fundamental skills, no matter what construction company you're applying to. They want to see that you can read drawings, perform basic takeoffs, understand cost concepts, and communicate effectively. So focus on demonstrating core competencies and showing enthusiasm for learning. In summary, practice your takeoff skills, understand basic construction processes, and be prepared to discuss your interest in construction estimating. Start with demonstrating competency in fundamentals. Show your learning through coursework or projects and highlight your attention to detail. For entry-level construction estimating positions, that's all you need. But if you're looking to advance quickly or you have some related experience, you might also encounter more complex scenarios or detailed technical questions. Remember the office building example from before? Well, the interviewer might ask you to walk through estimating a similar project or estimate a smaller project, smaller renovation project. They want to see you think through the estimating process and communicate your approach clearly. I'll create a more detailed guide on construction estimating interviews in a future video, but there are plenty of resources and practice opportunities available. And like everything else, the best way to get better is just by practicing, by applying to real positions and going through actual interviews. In the real world, what construction projects are happening in your area? What companies are hiring estimators? How would you approach different project types? Now you know everything it takes to become a competent construction estimator in 4 to 12 weeks. I can't say the journey will be easy, but I can promise it will be rewarding. And if you've gotten this far, then you should be proud of your commitment. So that's how I'd learn construction estimating if I had to start all over today. Let me know in the comments. Are you planning to start learning construction estimating? What's holding you back from taking that first step? Like and subscribe if this helped. And if you're ready to start your own path in construction estimating, start with the free intro course linked below. It'll show you exactly how this career works, what you can earn, and the roadmap we'll follow together. And if you decide to enroll, my link will get you $50 off. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.